Commence primary ignition.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Life at Lightspeed podcast. Happy Halloween!
Woo!
My name is Colin,
And I'm Brooke.
and this is the Life at Lightspeed podcast.
And don't forget about him.
Oh yeah,
This is Hayden.
this is our new co-host.
Yeah. Anything to say?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Happy Halloween, everyone! This is a special Halloween for us because this is Hayden's first
It's
Halloween.
her first Halloween. First costume. I'm sure you can all guess what he is.
And for the news this week, we have visions, but then we
Yep.
also have some news of what could have been.
What we could have had. Yes. So we had some acolyte insight. The creator, Leslie Hayland, revealed that Chimere would have gone on to be the first Ren, the first founder of the Knights of Ren. And we have a quote said, "It was in the design of the character, as well as knowing that we were going to introduce Darth Plagueis, who has to end up with Palpatine and as his apprentice, and then following the rule of two, a precept that limited the Sith to just two at any given time, a master and apprentice, and then one way to keep it going is if the stranger is the first Knight of Ren, part of the Sith adjacent cult that we know eventually survives." And man, I think that would have been so interesting. I'm someone who would have really loved to see this show continue. Like with any, I say this about any first of something, sometimes I feel like they can be a little slow. And it's because they have to world build, right? And so they have to take all this time to introduce you to the characters and the plot and all these things, so it can sometimes be a little slow. But then I feel like it usually picks up as it goes on. And I just think was the Acolyte perfect? No. But is anything? Also no. It's just one of those things that I don't think it was bad enough to warrant just canceling it. That's my take.
I am not. Man, I wish that we had more time with Chimere. He was such an interesting character, and the way that he was introduced, and then when that reveal happened, and his whole lightsaber scene of where he takes out all of the Jedi. That was
not even breaking a sweat.
That was some of the best lightsaber action that we've gotten in a very, very long time. Of the choreography for those episodes were just absolutely incredible, and it felt like something straight out of the prequels. It was amazing, and with the news of this, and this came out of the Acolyte art book. I really wish that they went, that they ended up continuing with it. I hope they do, and in some capacity. You also hear the scene when he kind of leans down, and it's at the end of the episode of the big lightsaber scene. You actually hear Kylo's theme.
So they were hinting at it already.
Yes. And just with the helmet and the look of it, I already kind of had a sense of something was related to it, but the fact that they're confirming it is just oh, okay. So there was plans for it to go forward. And with the Darth Plagueis reveal at the end, and just of at the end of the show, and Yoda and everything, I was like, I really wish that we continued. But yeah, so there's that. Hopefully we see more in the future.
Yeah, because I think the Chimera character to me was so interesting. And for me, like the whole show, I just feel like the reason a lot of people didn't like it is it kind of played around with the idea of like, were the Sith all bad? Were the Jedi all good? Kind of like making you think. And I think there are some people, and I'm not saying this is like a wrong opinion, but I think there are some people who like the very black and white, like good versus evil. And I think that's totally fine and valid. And so this show was definitely different. And I'm someone who likes to kind of like dive a little deeper, and I love a morally gray like area. Like to me, people are complex. And I think everyone kind of has a little bit of both in them. Like that just feels real to me. So I like when I have a little bit of that, ooh, interesting thought process. And again, not saying one is right or the other, but I think that that's kind of the reason why not a lot of people took to this show.
I'm just processing of what you said because I mean, you're absolutely right. There were when this so at Star Wars Celebration when they actually launched that trailer, and then we didn't get the official trailer till later. I was blown away from everything that we saw in that trailer in London, and then the ending scene was we saw a lightsaber was being thrown, and then all the Jedi turn on their lightsabers, and then we saw like the big force push, and that was it. We didn't see like of who the stranger was or like anything like that, and that was like the big hype train of like, oh, okay. And then you have everything that happens with the show, and I felt like there was a lot of things that were getting built up, and I think it with the backstory, I think that was very intriguing for most of the audience. I was waiting for action with Kelnaka the entire time, and we finally got to it,
Mm-hmm.
and I was disappointed that it was him not fighting, you know, the Sith or the witches or the bad guys. It was him being possessed, and that was just kind of, oh man. But seeing that lightsaber fight was cool because we haven't seen a full Wookiee Jedi in live action on screen like that. So that was very, very awesome to see. But overall, with the Stranger, um, he's kind of become a fan favorite,
Yeah,
and Chimera has become one of the best things that came out of Acolyte.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
When people that I know talk about Acolyte, they mainly talk about Chimera the Stranger.
Mm-hmm.
So my theory is that this isn't the end of that character.
I hope not.
In live action, I think we will get him in the future in some capacity, and with what they're doing with the Mandalorian, show and Ahsoka and all of that, they are trying to make the sequels, um, more exciting. Exactly what they did with the Clone Wars, of what the Clone Wars did for the prequels. So I think in some capacity, I think we will see Chimera again. And
Because what they could do is they could kind of give like a limited series on like his backstory, how he came to be, and maybe that could get people excited about that plot again so that they could then continue with the Acolyte, because maybe that's what they need. They just need people to get a little more excited to continue on.
100%. So that's it for the real big news this week.
Yeah, a little bit of a slow week. Yeah. They said it's Halloween. You guys got some fun stuff going on.
And if you haven't seen Visions yet, go check out Visions Volume 3.
Mhm.
We had a blast watching it. I think that last episode really stuck with me just because that was a trip. I think everyone I talked to,
yeah,
it was an absolute trip.
it's definitely the one that was made to be very artistic, opposed to like a straightforward story. So it's different, and it was definitely fun to watch.
Yeah. This is from Spencer. By the way, we do these episodes live. So if you're listening on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, this episode is live. We have Spencer. He says the best line in Star Wars to explain Star Wars came from Acolyte. Semantics. Yeah, sorry. It's kind of far away.
But we're reading a tiny screen.
Yeah. No. Oh man, I really hope that we get more in the in the future with that. They also have a Chimera action figure of the Black Series line coming out in March of next year.
Ooh,
Which they're
just in time for my birthday.
not only that, they also have the first action the first action figure of Maul from the show of
Oh.
Maul Shadow Lord, and that also comes out
Ooh.
in March. You can pre-order those, by the way, on Amazon as well, and then they would be delivered by March 2nd. Is what it's saying. So my theory is that Maul Shadow Lord will be coming out in the spring, because I can just see that show being like kind of like a spring show. Maybe it comes around May 4th. That would be really cool. But also, don't forget, we got The Mandalorian and Grogu coming out. So maybe they want to spread out their Star Wars. But we'll see. We'll definitely see. I wanted to talk about Hayden now, because this is Hayden's first Halloween.
Yes.
As you can see, he's an Ewok. What was your did you have any Star Wars like costumes growing up? I know your
You
dad had
know,
like the
I
original.
didn't, like, surprisingly, but
Yeah.
yeah, my dad was a kid in the 70s. And so he had a lot of those original, like, basically like a paper bag costume with the masks, and he still has a few of them in pretty good
Yes.
condition. So that's pretty cool. But I don't think I did ever dress up as a Star Wars character. Surprisingly, always loved it. Um, and I'm gonna blank on every single costume I ever dressed up as. I did the traditional, like, witch and cat and gosh, Ariel, because Ariel's like my favorite Disney princess ever. But yeah, surprisingly. What about you?
I was Anakin Skywalker from Revenge of the Sith, and then I also was Anakin from Attack of the Clones as well. I had like the
That
training
tracks.
I had the training braid, so it was like
Oh, yeah.
it was the clip-on one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then, you know, later grew up and we, did more adult costumes. At one point I was like I was Zorro at one point. I, I was a greaser from the 1950s. Uh I was Eminem at one point. Yeah. But I'm really excited to see what costumes are in store for Hayden, because
Yeah. Because we're gonna dress him up for the first couple years of his life, but then what's he gonna want? What's he gonna want to be? I love seeing those like costumes that kids wanted to be that are so off the wall that and their parents will make it for them. Like some little girl wanted to be like a toilet one year, I think. Like, you just see them on like Facebook and stuff, and the parents are like, okay. So we'll see what kind of crazy concoction this little guy is gonna come up with.
I had some things planned for him this year, but things just didn't line up. But we'll probably do it next year. Like, I mean, for example, like C-3PO
Mm-hmm.
on my back is Chewie for
Yep.
him
That would have been
from
really
Empire
cute.
Strikes Back.
Just the first year is busy, man.
He just yawned a little
This
bit. That's cute.
is our little makeshift costume.
Yeah.
Shout out to Amazon right here.
And then something else as well. Growing up, Star Wars was, it was very impactful, on my life. But there were some scary moments in Star Wars,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
there are now. What, in your opinion, was one of the scariest?
Yeah, so for me, less jump scare-ish, but it's Padme sitting in that Senate meeting when Emperor Palpatine is announcing that he's gonna convert the Republic into the grand the Empire.
Yeah.
And just her watching all of her peers just cheer for the downfall of the Republic that she and so many others worked so hard to protect, and it being welcomed with applause. To me, that's scary. That's a terrifying moment to be in. I can't even imagine how she was feeling in that moment. And her famous line, this is how liberty dies, with thunderous applause. Like, to me, that was just such a pivotal and such a scary moment.
For, you know, for more of the mythical side, for me, it was Luke going into the cave
Oh yeah.
for Empire Strikes Back, and he fights Darth Vader, but then it ends up, little like the face reveal, it ends up being himself. That was trippy as a kid.
Yeah.
It was just
It's
like,
also, you
like,
gotta
oh.
you gotta give it to the music too.
Yes.
And they kind of did like a slow motion-esque kind of like thing to it to make it really eerie. And yeah, that was definitely a scary one as a kid.
And there's been so many since then. There was the stuff in The Mandalorian. You had the giant spiders in the ice
Oh yeah,
caves.
I did not like those.
You had the weird cyborg thing in season 3 of the Mandalorian on Mandalore, and you've got the Wampa in Empire Strikes Back, Rancor, even in the Ewok. In the original Ewok films, there was the giant troll creature that was terrifying. I know it was a guy in a costume just like kind of running through, but
it doesn't matter what it is. It matters what it looks like.
Yeah. So yeah,
it matters how it makes you feel.
What was to everyone that's live right now, what was your scariest like experience of watching Star Wars growing up, like on screen, like of those moments that you grew up with, like in the cave or anything like that? We'd love to hear. But yeah, and I think that with the element of spookiness, it's so interesting over the years for Star Wars. They've added the Night Sisters, which are witches, and I remember when we first saw them on screen for Clone Wars, and I was like, "This is an interesting concept." And we got Mother Talzin, and we experienced that culture on Dathomir, and then there was one of the newest shows that came out, which was Tales of the Empire, and we kind of explored more of things going on with the Night Sisters. And I remember that moment of where you see General Grievous like just slaughter a bunch of the Night Sisters, and it was from a different point of view. And the animation style for Grievous in that is more scary than what we got in the Clone Wars. And I was like, oh my gosh. So yeah, I would love to explore more of that.
I would love to see more of the Night Sisters in general. I think that's one of the groups in Star Wars that isn't super explored that they could definitely do something with and kind of give us a little more.
Yeah. So this is coming from Spencer.
Ooh.
So my dad actually took me out of the theater crying in 1980 during Empire because I thought Chewie would electrocute himself welding the Falcon.
Oh no.
Traumatic.
I mean,
that's fair.
That's really fair. I mean, they must know what they're doing, but there were definitely some times where Han and Chewie had that thing apart and there's wires everywhere that like that doesn't seem safe. Yeah. Are they following OSHA regulations there?
Yes, because that's canon.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm really, really curious of what the next kind of big creatures and all that's going to be on the next upcoming films and shows and all that stuff. Because I remember, growing up as a kid and we got the Rancor scene. That Rancor, when you first, see it on screen, was terrifying.
Oh, the drool coming down and the noise it makes was actually pretty terrifying. Yeah. The roar.
Mm-hmm. And at first it was someone in a suit, and then they changed it into a puppet. And I think that was a really, really great route, because when you have a person in a costume, like, sometimes it depends on the movie. It can look very humanish, even though, you know, it's some type of alien. For example, in the Alien movies, when you see the xenomorphs, you know, it's someone in that costume, but there's so much going on in it, like on the actual alien costume, that you kind of forget the human element of it. And with the Rancor, I'm glad that they went the puppet route, because you could see it more as a creature.
You got a little more flexibility with joints and
Yes.
limbs.
Yeah. Spencer said there was no OSHA in Star Wars until Acolyte.
That's so true.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So that's really it for like the news.
Yeah, for news, it was, like I said, slow week.
Yeah. Something though, for upcoming events, you've got Rebel Scum Con, of course. You got C2E2 and all that stuff next year. We got Grand Rapids Comic Con in a couple of weeks, but next weekend is Rhode Island Comic Con, and a bunch of people from Virtual Cantina Network will be there, and you never know who might come. So they will be doing a meetup for that. So go on to Virtual Cantina. Wow.
Spooky.
Virtual Cantina Network .com on their website for more information. Go onto the Facebook pages as well. There's so much to look forward to in the next couple of weeks. We're putting up a QR code if you're watching on the live stream.
Scan it. Love it.
That will take you to the website, and then just tune in for just more exciting stuff. If you go on our Instagram at Life at Lightspeed Pod, and then you have the Instagram of Virtual Cantina as well. For us, we're going to be posting more stuff on there, some different interviews, but also some fun facts that you maybe didn't know. I'm also working on a big project on that right now.
What could it be?
Ooh. But if you are going to Grand Rapids Comic Con, we'll have more information on that soon. But we're going to be doing some cool giveaways over there that maybe you're not expecting. D. Bradley Baker will be there. He does all the voices of the clones. He's also voiced Jabba at one point as well. And, you know, he's just a phenomenal voice actor. So we'll see you at Grand Rapids Comic Con for that. But stay tuned for more details. Yeah.
Do you have anything you'd like to add? No. Okay.
Okay. Well, from all of us over at the Life at Lightspeed podcast and Virtual Cantina, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
And may the Force be with you.
Forever and always.
Forever and always.